Watch full episodes on Jio Hotstar.
Berries! Do you know what can wake a bear from his nap? The scent of berries! And what are these fruits? They grow in the forest and are different colors, like the raspberry, blackberry, strawberry, blueberry, and red currants. They are all sweet and scented. And how can you eat them? They're delicious fresh, as a juice, in a fruit salad, or as a jam. Berries are a valuable source of vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Berries help to prevent anemia, stomach problems, and help us grow strong and healthy. Remember, if you eat a handful of berries once a day, you will prevent stomach problems and colds. Eat healthy, be healthy.
Sugar and honey. Did you know that ants can tell between natural and artificial sugar? That's right. Ants walk straight to the real sugar because it contains natural elements like honey produced by bees from the pollen they get from flowers. They fly from flower to flower, picking the pollen they can take to their honeycomb and make the honey that we eat. We get sugar from the juice of sugarcane or from beetroot. Sugar and honey are the ingredients used to make candy and sweets. And how can you eat them? Sugar and honey sweeten our breakfast, snacks, and desserts. They both are very nutritious and give us energy. Honey is a valuable source of vitamins and minerals. I bet you feel tired after doing hours of homework. Well, sugar and honey are great food for our brains, and they give us energy. Keep us from getting sick. And there's no better disinfectant for your throat than honey. So now you know, you should eat sugar and honey in moderation to grow with lots of energy. Eat healthy, be healthy.
Celery! Did you know that not all large animals on Earth eat meat? That's right! The hippo, so big and fearsome, is a herbivore. That's it! It only eats vegetables, such as the celery. So you get the idea. A hippo eats 80 kilograms of vegetables a day and hates meat. Celery is a plant from which we eat its stalk, leaves, and bulb. It's a vegetable with a great flavor, which makes you feel good and gives you energy. And how can you eat it? You can eat it raw as an aperitif. But it's also used in stock and soups. Celery contains vitamins and minerals, carbohydrates, and fiber. If you eat celery, your body will fight infection, cleanse your insides, and what's more, it gives you energy, memory, and helps your digestion. Remember, if you eat vegetables twice a day, you will fight tiredness and you'll be strong and healthy. Eat healthy, be healthy.
Oil. How can a tiny bird like the starling travel so many miles from the south to the north of Europe? Because he eats olives and stores the fat they contain, and that gives him the energy to go the journey. We also need fat to have energy. It's our fuel. The best vegetable fat is the oil from plants, like the sunflower, the avocado, nuts, and best of all, the olive. Olive oil is the natural juice from the olive, which grows on trees. How can you eat it? With salads, meat, fish, pulses, or vegetables. Olive oil contains vitamin E and omega-6 fatty acids, which gives us the energy to be strong and healthy. And helps us to have a good memory. Remember, olive oil is very important for our growth and our brain. But you also have to run and do exercise if you want to grow up and not out. Eat healthy, be healthy.
Water. Here's a riddle. Which animal gets its food in the water and can't live without it? You're right. Fish. Water is essential to fish and they can't live outside it. Water is also essential to all other animals on the planet. Life would not be possible without it. Water forms part of our oceans, rivers, and lagoons. Water feeds us, gives us health, and cleans us. Did you know that we can survive a few days without eating food, but only a couple without water? The water we drink is like a river, through which flows the food we eat. And thanks to water, the vitamins and minerals get to every corner of our bodies. That's why it's so important that we drink water every day, to grow up and not out. Remember, water is a treasure given to us by nature. You must drink 6 glasses of water a day, and many fruits, vegetables, and greens. Because all these foods contain large quantities of water. In this way, you will grow strong and healthy. Eat healthy, be healthy.
Asparagus. Here's a riddle. Which tropical bird is friendly and sings like a tenor? You're right, the canary. If you feed a canary with seeds and vegetables like asparagus, he'll sing like a nightingale. Asparagus are the stem and sprouts of the asparagus bush, which grows underground. Green, white, and purple. Asparagus is a very healthy and rich food. And how can you eat them? Fresh or canned, with mayonnaise or salad dressing, in salads, cooked, grilled, in a casserole, a soup, or accompanying any dish. They are delicious every way. Asparagus contains many vitamins, minerals, fiber, and carbohydrates. If you eat asparagus, which are rich antioxidants, you can detoxify your body. Remember, if you eat asparagus, you'll feel energetic and stimulated. Eat healthy, be healthy.
Aubergine. What animal carries his house wherever he goes? You're right, the snail. Snails use their shell as their home and to protect themselves from other animals. Snails love to live in vegetable gardens, eating rich and nutritious greens such as the aubergine. Thanks to the vegetables it eats, the snail is all muscle, capable of carrying his home on his shoulders. Aubergines can be green, purple, or black. And how can we eat them? They are delicious barbecued, fried, stuffed with meat or other vegetables, as a soup, or accompanying other vegetables. Aubergines are a valuable source of vitamins, minerals, fiber, and carbohydrates. Aubergines are good for your skin and excellent for the liver and the muscles. Remember, you must eat vegetables twice a day to grow strong and have a healthy skin. Eat healthy, be healthy!
Melon and watermelon. Do you know why the toucan has an enormous beak in the shape of a pair of scissors? Very simple, because with his enormous beak, he can slice his favorite fruits. The melon and the watermelon. Melon and watermelons grow on the ground. They are both large summer fruits. Melons can have a white or orange flesh, while watermelons are red. They're both sweet and crunchy, and they're healthy, nutritious, and refreshing. And how can you eat them? Any time of day, they're easy to eat. They're good on their own, or with other fruit. In a salad, with ham, as a juice or a sorbet. Melon and watermelons are a valuable source of vitamins, minerals, fiber, and carbohydrates. If you eat melon and watermelon, you'll get energy when you're tired. Quench your thirst, stimulate your kidneys, and help your digestion. Remember, if you want to freshen up and get your strength back, you only need to eat 2 slices of melon or watermelon a day. Eat healthy, be healthy.
Chocolate! Do you know which animal is capable of smelling chocolate miles away? That's it, the dog! Dogs love chocolate, but be careful because chocolate is poisonous for most animals, including dogs. On the other hand, chocolate is a very nutritious food for us humans. Chocolate comes from the cocoa seed, and it was so valued in ancient times that the Aztec Indians used it as money. Black, white, with milk, with nuts, raisins, or caramel. Chocolate gives us the energy for sport or physical effort. And how can you eat it? For breakfast? As a dessert? As a snack? In powder? As a bar? Melted? As a spread? Or in a chocolate box? Chocolate is the king in most cakes, biscuits, custards, or ice cream. Chocolate is not only a delicious sweet, but also a valuable source of vitamins, minerals, proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. It's good for our digestion, strengthens our immune system, and it's great for our memory. But be careful, if you eat too much chocolate, you could be ill. So to always be healthy and strong, you can eat chocolate in moderation. And provided that you practice some sport to grow up and not out. Eat healthy, be healthy!
Artichoke. Did you know that the ladybug is the vegetable garden's best friend? Besides being pretty and friendly, ladybugs eat other bugs that harm vegetables like the artichoke. So ladybugs have become farmers' best friends, which they use to protect their harvest. The artichoke is very juicy and nutritious. The part we eat is the flower, the petals, and the heart, which is the most tender part. And how can we eat it? Boiled, steamed, fried, in an omelet, with breadcrumbs, stuffed, in the oven, stir-fried, with rice, grilled. It's delicious no matter how you cook it. Artichokes are a valuable source of vitamins, minerals, fiber, and carbohydrates. If you eat artichokes, You'll detox your system, and you'll have healthy skin and a healthy liver and have good digestion. Remember, to have strong and smooth skin and be healthy, you must eat vegetables twice a day. Eat healthy, be healthy. Sharing. Have you ever seen how bees behave inside their honeycomb? They all work for their family. They bring pollen to turn it into honey for the larva. Others watch out for intruders. And they all help out in the feeding of their colleagues. In any case, they all maintain the honeycomb and share tasks, especially the food. And what about you? Do you share things? Whenever a friend or a brother asks you to share a toy or food, what do you tell him? It's always best to share. That way you make friends. And then later on, they will share with you whatever they have. Remember, to make friends, you've got to share what little you have. It'll make you feel good and make everyone else feel good too. Learn from nature and feel better.
Eating on your own. If you look at chicks a few hours after breaking out of their shells, they will soon begin to eat on their own. They imitate their mommy's behavior. They peck the ground to feed themselves, while their mommy shows them what they can eat and what they can't. On the other hand, we can't eat on our own when we're babies because we can't walk, nor use a spoon, nor choose what food to eat. It's not until we grow up that we can eat on our own and finish everything on our plate. Our parents, like the hen, show us how to eat. And we must learn by watching what they do. This way, we'll eat well and grow. Remember that you have to do as the chicks and learn to eat everything and learn to eat on your own. If you learn from nature, you'll feel better.
Have you ever seen how a dog eats? Have you noticed that he only lifts his head from the plate when the plate of food is empty? He's not hungry because he eats every day. Dogs, like all other animals, appreciate the food they eat, and they don't play with it. They know that food is indispensable for their growth. And that's why they never play or damage food. And what about you? What do you do when you eat? You should know that eating well is very important to have a good digestion. And your tummy doesn't feel funny. Animals know this. And that's why they never play or move while having their food. So now you know. It's best to eat relaxed and well sat on the chair. That way you'll grow healthy. And what's more, you won't stain your clothes. Learn from nature? Feel better.
Don't speak with your mouth full. Have you ever seen a pelican eat? Have you seen its throat? pumpkins are capable of filling their mouths with lots of fish, which they swallow little by little. But they never sing while doing this. Otherwise, they choke. What's more, it's useless to sing with our mouth full because nobody would understand the lyrics anyway. We mustn't speak or sing with our mouths full. Because the same could happen to us. Remember, when you're eating, you mustn't speak. It's dangerous because you could choke. And nobody will understand what you're saying. If you talk with your mouth full. Learn from nature. You'll feel better. Mushrooms. Do you know which animal doesn't need a pole to do an Olympic pole jump? You're right, the wild rabbit. And do you know why? Because he eats lots of mushrooms. A mushroom is a fungus with a hat and a foot. You can find them in many colors and shapes. And you can find them in the forest, in spring, and in autumn. They are an exquisite delicacy, and some even have medicinal properties. And how can you eat them? Raw? In salads? In the oven? Or grilled? Fried? In stews and sauces. Mushrooms are a valuable source of vitamins, minerals, fiber, and carbohydrates. Many mushrooms are a natural antibiotic. That is, they heal infection, strengthen your defenses, and are also very good for your kidneys and liver. Remember, mushrooms are a very suitable food to accompany your meals. Eat healthy, be healthy. Keeping your room tidy. Have you ever noticed how birds keep their nests nice and clean? That's it. Every day, the bird cleans the fallen feathers, food, and waste out of the nest. This way, the nest is always clean and tidy, so that the chicks can play while they wait for their daddy and mommy to bring the food. And you? Do you tidy your toys after playing with them? Do you clean up the mess you make at home? Like the bird, we should also keep our room tidy. We must tidy the toys after playing. This way, we will find them easily the next time. Remember, if you want to find your toys and not lose your things, you must put them away. This way, you'll always find them again. Learn from nature, and you'll feel better.
At school, ants form families of 10,000 brothers. They all live in the same anthill. But as they are very tidy, they have no space or organization problems. Some go looking for food. Others clean the anthill. And others take care of the larvae that are about to hatch. And store the seeds that come in. They all take part in the running of the colony. And why? Can you imagine if it wasn't like that? And what about you? Do you keep your desk tidy at school? Imagine what would happen if school wasn't tidy. It would be a total mess. And there's no way anyone could work or play. Remember, organization and tidiness are important if you want to make the most of your space. Like in school and public places. Learn from nature and feel better.
Sharing! Have you ever seen the rhinoceros's friend? The one it carries on his shoulder? No! It's not another rhinoceros. It's a bird. How can such different animals be close friends? Do you know why? Because the rhinoceros lets the bird travel on his back, and in exchange, he cleans his ears and its back of insects and parasites. They make a great couple. This way, when the bird gets tired of flying, he can rest on the rhinoceros's back and have a snack. The rhino is happy because the bird cleans where he cannot reach. We can also help our friends, like helping to tidy their toys or helping with their homework. This way, you'll make lots of friends. It's great to have friends and play, but remember, friendship works both ways. You must be a good friend if you want to have good friends. If you learn from nature, you'll feel better.
Walking. Have you ever noticed how ducklings follow their mommy? If you watch a duck family when they go on a walk, you'll see all the ducklings following behind their mommy and staying in line. They know that their mommy knows the way. And they follow her every step. And what about you? When you walk down the street. Walking down the street or down a path, you have to be careful. Because it can be dangerous if you don't watch out. You also have to walk with your parents when you're in the street. And don't run. Walking with adults can also be fun. Learn from nature and feel better.
In the car. Baby kangaroos travel easily. Inside their mommy's pouches. But they must be careful. They mustn't move too much and must hold on tight because with their mommy's hops, they could easily fall out. If they don't move and stay calm, they won't fall out. We can't do the same because our mommies don't have a pouch in their tummies. But when we are inside the car or on a bike with our parents, we must sit in a special chair just for us and wear the safety belt. Just as if we traveled inside the kangaroo's pouch. This way, even if the car shakes suddenly, we won't fall out and hurt ourselves. Remember, inside the car, you must wear the safety belt and sit properly at all times. Learn from nature, and you'll feel better.
On a trip. Have you looked up in the sky in the fall? Some birds migrate like wild ducks that know they have to cover long distances and form groups with a group leader to lead the way. The leader has already spent other winters in warm places. And the rest, they follow him because he knows the way. What's more, flying in formation keeps the predators away. We can't fly like ducks because we don't have wings. We also don't need to migrate in the fall. Although our ancestors did 100,000 years ago. Now, we have coats and houses to protect ourselves from the cold. But when we go on a trip with our parents or with school, we also have to follow the leader. That way we won't get lost or fall behind. Adults show us where to go and how to do it. We have to listen to them and learn. Learn from nature and feel better.
Respect the environment. Have you ever seen what the dung beetle does with the elephant dung it finds in the savannah? He spends all day long pushing and burying balls. And by doing this, it cleans the paths and fields of the African savanna. They use these balls to hatch their babies inside. They also feed from them. They are great nature recyclers. We can also do the same in our own way. Not littering the streets, fields, parks, and protecting plants, trees, and animals. If we recycle trash, we will do as the beetle, reusing things for other purposes. Remember, if you wish to protect nature, you must recycle and keep your environment clean. If you learn from nature, you'll feel better.
Listen to other people. Have you ever seen how brown bear cubs behave? Brown bear cubs are left alone in the cave when their mummy goes looking for food. They have no one to take care of them while their mommy's away. But that doesn't bother them because they play and entertain themselves, following mommy's instructions, and never run out of the cave. And what about you? Do you follow what your parents tell you? And your grandparents? It's very important to listen. We can learn a lot. Because adults can teach us many interesting things that we don't know. Remember, it's always best to listen. You never know what you might learn. Learn from nature and feel better.
Respect other opinions. Savannah elephants live in big families. The father, several mothers, kids, cousins, and even grandchildren. They all travel together looking for water. And how do they find it? Well, they follow the oldest mother. because she is the most experienced and knows the way. She knows where to find water, and the rest respect her opinion and follow her. And you? Do you respect other people's opinions? It is very important to respect other opinions. They are as important as our own. Remember, you must respect other people's opinions. They could be right, but you must always follow your heart. If you learn from nature, you'll feel better.
Demonstrate affection. Have you ever seen a monkey on his own? Bet you haven't. Monkeys always live in big groups. With their parents, grandparents, uncles, brothers, and cousins. These families form very large groups. And they do lots of things together, like taking care of the babies, debugging each other, combing their hair. That's how they show affection. We also form families. And it's also good that we do things together. Like playing, lending a hand, combing, hugging. And it's nice to show somebody that you like them, no matter what way. Whichever you like. You'll see that if you like someone and show it, that person and you will feel much better. And you'll always have someone that you can trust. Learn from nature, feel better.
Share new discoveries. Have you ever seen what the lioness does with her cubs when they begin to grow? She teaches them to hunt. She hunts first, so they learn to select the best prey. She also teaches them to share food. Lion cubs learn from their parents and share their new discoveries with their brothers and friends. Us too. We can also share our new discoveries. Every time we learn something new, it's good to share it with others. This way, we exchange knowledge and experience. If you learn from nature, you'll feel better.
Accepting differences. One gorilla, two gorillas, three gorillas. Are they the same? Yeah? No, they're not the same. They're different. What if they are different? Nothing. They're different, but they're also the same. They have the same. One face, two legs, two arms. Sometimes they don't. And sometimes they're even more handsome. Yes or no? We're all the same. And different at the same time. Life would be so boring if we were all the same. The same taste, the same games, and it would be so confusing. It's better if we're different. That way, we can see the differences and learn new things. Learn from nature and feel better.
Discuss to agree. How would schools of fish manage if they didn't agree where to go? They would probably bump into each other, going nowhere. Fish have a special code when they travel in schools, by which they agree which direction to take. It's very interesting to watch them travel, and it seems impossible how they manage, but they do. We should do as the fish and agree first if we wish to do something with others. And how can we do this? Discussing. If we talk together, we will reach an agreement. There's no better way. So now you know. If you wish to agree something with the rest, you must discuss it, and you'll surely reach an agreement. If you learn from nature, you'll feel better.
Helping other people. Did you know that dolphins are not fish? Dolphins are mammals like us and are born from their mommy's tummy. But when they're really small, they have to be helped by their brothers to get to the surface to breathe. It's nice to see brothers helping each other. Sometimes it's hard to help them breathe. And what about you? Do you help others? Sometimes others can need your help. Your parents, your grandparents, your brothers, or friends. It's always good to offer your help. Others may need it. And helping them will make you feel better. Learn from nature, feel better.
Share rights and responsibilities. Every spring, penguins travel to a particular area in Antarctica to hatch their eggs. Once they build the nest, the father and mother take it in turns to hatch their eggs. When the chick penguin breaks out of his egg, they both take it in turns to feed him and protect him from the cold. Isn't that great? They both share responsibility and do the same work to take care of their baby. It's the same for us. It's fine to have the same responsibility as long as we share the effort. Remember that we're all equal when it comes to rights and responsibilities. This is why it's always better to share them. If you learn from nature, you'll feel better.
Watch India's largest kids library only on Jio Hotstar. Download the app now.